Is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our program, Learn Arabic. Today it is Sa. How can we pronounce such a letter, and how can also we write such a letter? And as everyone knows, that Sa is described among a lot of linguists as emphatic sounds, which means that this is very heavy sounds, which also requires a lot of linguistic features that should be found in such a letter in order to be written completely and to be pronounced perfectly. I'm joined today with all my guests, as usual. Osama from Egypt, Khalid from Ghana, Muhammad from Pakistan, Nabil from Pakistan, and Muhammad from England. Welcome to all of you. I think that this is very interesting to start today with an emphatic sounds, because I know that this is probably could be difficult for those who probably starting learn the Arabic language. I think that Sa could be different from Sa. I think so. Can you see the difference? Sa and Sa. Yeah. And also, I would classify here Sa and emphatic sounds probably very close to Ain, to Ta, to Da, to Ghain, and so on. I think that all of such sounds are distinctive from other sounds that can be found in English or in other European languages generally.
I think the difference between Sin and Sad is like one is lighter and one is heavier.
Exactly, and I think
by this you could
right. And I think in such a way, actually, it's also described as emphatic sounds and non-emphatic sounds.
But also, I find that it is more difficult Sad than Sin, and we find because we don't have Sad in English, for example. We have Sa.
That is right.
But we don't have Sa.
But here is a very important point, because sometimes if Sa in English followed by a long vowel like, let me just say, Sad or Sad, but it's also pronounced as Sa, not Sa, right?
If you can say some words in English with like Saw, S-A-W, Saw, come close to Sod.
It's the past tense for see?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just write that here. So it is see here, if you can see that, and in the past tense, we say Saw. But again, Sammy, here is your point.
Yeah.
I think that is, if you just put that word in the past simple tense to say see, saw, I don't think that this is also Sa sound, like in Arabic, Sa.
Yeah.
Probably it's pronounced as Sa.
Yeah.
But I think that there is a kind of strong influence for the following vowels on the previous consonant, which is Sa in English. But I would keep saying that Sa is distinctive in Arabic. I don't know whether you can find, for example, Sa in other different languages like Urdu or Persian or Hebrew. I don't know. I'm not involved in a lot of Semitic languages, but I would say that Sa and Da, both of them actually are very distinctive in the Arabic language. And I still remember a lot of people actually, those who are just trying to learn the Arabic language, they find a lot of difficulty in distinguishing.
I think, firstly, I have to make the point, underline the point that you do find in a lot of sympathetic language, Swad and Zwad. Swad, but it's pronounced slightly different. It's Swad and Zwad, something like this. And the second point that I should underline is the pronunciation when you're reciting fluently. When you're reading newspaper fluently or reciting the Holy Quran fluently. This is where a lot of us mistake this Sin and Swad.
Right.
For example, as I said before as well, is Sirat al-Mustaqim or Sirat al-Lazina. This is where a lot of people make mistake. And this is where it gets difficult, because it has fluency in it, and both are very close after one. And to think about the heaviness and the lightness of the both Sin and Swad. This is where you have in mind the Swad is heavy. So sometimes you end up reciting Sin and Swad.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes we have Sin and Swad in one word, but that's mixed, and this is the problem of a heavy and a light sound.
Yeah.
When they come together, so this is the difficulty.
Right.
And this is also the fluency of the Arabic speaker.
Right.
Like Sayasla. So we have to get out Sin from Sad, because sometimes there is overlap between them.
Right. Exactly.
Reminding of Sayasla, when I was practicing my Quran recitation, I was keep reciting Sayas.
Exactly. Can you
but
see
afterwards, keep reciting. I had to, in order to recite properly, I heard the same word actually a lot of times, probably 50, 60 times. As everyone says, yes.
Yeah, but I think that the words that Sin and Sad comes together are very few. Compared, for example, with the words or the alphabet. So when it comes in initial position, the Ever Glorious Quran, we have 742 words that begin with Sa in the Holy Quran.
Repeat it again.
Yeah, 722 and 42.
Starting with Sa.
Yeah, Sa, and that makes it easy
Very,
for us.
very interesting to make something like that. I like your statistics, Osama, when it comes to the numbers of the Arabic letters in the glorious Quran. And but again, here at the bottom line, there's a distinction between Sa and Sa. Now, let me just have a look at how can we write such an alphabet here in Arabic. This letter represents the emphatic counterpart of Sa. It should be toward the front end, close to the roof of the mouth. The emphatic consonants in Arabic are pronounced by placing the end of your tongue at your roof ridge and dropping the rest of your tongue as low as you can. I think that's now very clear that we have still a lot of distinctive features for Sa. Like, for example, we are dropping the rest of the tongue to be in the low position, and at the same time we are putting the front or probably the tip of the tongue to be probably flapping the alveolar ridge.
I think we're dropping the tongue almost slightly similar to Zad. Z.
Exactly,
Zad.
that's right. Now let me just move on here and have a look at how can we pronounce it. I think in such a way, actually, if you'd like just to have a look at of how can we write such Sa, I would explain that to you. Here is that you are making again a kind of small loop here. You're getting back, I'm sorry, not in this way, but I would say that in this way. Can you see that? This is a very simple way. Again, I think that there's a common feature here for Sa, which probably could be very close to Jim Ha Ha, which is tail.
Yeah.
Again, I would say that in Sa we have tail. In Jim Ha Ha we have also tail.
Yeah.
What
In
else?
Sin,
In Sin and Shin also we have tail. Very important and common note here of all such alphabets, which is when you start writing by such alphabets, don't use such tails and in initial positions or at the beginning of any word. You can use that probably at the final position at the end of the word, but not in the medial position, not in the front position.
The main sequence is from the start from Ba to Ta and Tha, the three sequence. Then you have the same twice sequence with Jim, Ha and Kha. Then we have Dal and Dal twice sequence. Then we have Sin and Sheen. Now you have Swad and Zwad and Ra and Dha. So it's from 3, it comes with 2, 2, 2, 2.
Right.
Then further on we have Zwad and Zwad and Ain and Ghain. I think the sequence will carry on. So and the difference, it comes with the dots as well. So in Arabic, you see the sequence with 3, 3 and 2, 2, 2, and only difference comes within the dots. The shapes are kind of very similar. So I think that's a bonus point for once to learn Arabic. And it also shows you the basics also is easy compared to English.
Right. I think that is absolutely correct. So do you have any comment about what Muhammad said now? I think that is quite clear now. That is Sa, it's written in such form. And I said before, here is that in this way. But I would like just to have a look at how about when it comes to the initial position. I think in this way, we have to understand there is no tail, there is no dot, and we are just writing here the letter on the line, okay? And it's always connected with the following one. So let me just write, I would give you one example. Actually, I don't have the slides here to give us a lot of examples. Sounds like a technical problem here in the slides, but I can tell you, Muhammad.
Salah.
Salah, what else? I need other examples. Sabr, right. Sa'id, right. So let me just write all of such examples. Here is that. I would say here is that, for example, I would say Sa'id. Can you see that?
Yeah.
How many letters do we have here in this word?
4. We have
4. Can you tell me, please, what they are?
We have
Sa.
We have Ya.
We have
Ba.
Yep.
We have
Ra.
Dal.
Is there a common ground among the 4 letters? Is there any similarity? If you just have a deep look at such letters, okay, let me just write them independently. Here we have Sa. Here we have Sa. Here we have A, which is actually described as Ain, but let us sound this is A, right? And then here we have Ya, and then we have
Da. Yeah.
4.
We have 4.
Are they connected together? Right?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just have a look at this. So here is it. I would say Sa, and then we have Ain, and then we have Ya.
They are connected together.
And then we have that. Yep.
Yeah.
They are connected together.
Exactly, that's right. That's right. So this is when it comes to the initial position. That actually explains something, which is when it comes to initial position, all the times it should be connected with the following letters.
Yes.
I don't think that there is that there is saw that comes in initial position that probably could be disconnected from the following one. I don't think so. Is there something like that in Arabic?
No.
Our statistics man, yep.
Well, I think in the Evergreen Scroll we have.
Okay.
We do have Sad.
Yeah.
We have also a chapter or a surah, a whole chapter that is called Sad.
So, oh yeah, that's true. But this
Sad.
is the name of one
And
surah in Quran.
one surah, one chapter
Yep.
in the Evergreen Scroll. So what is meant by Sad? I do not know.
Oh,
But
well, Sama, you're here actually touching very sensitive nerve. You know that in Quran we have one surah called Sa.
yeah,
I think it starts with Sa.
Sad.
Well, Quran al-Hakim.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
And Sa is disconnected from
Exactly.
the following word.
If you just asking me what's the meaning of Sa, I would say, well, I'm sorry, but I can't tell you that. I don't know actually what's the meaning of Sa here in such surah.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I believe that it does have meaning. But what is it? I don't know. But yeah, that's true.
Yeah, this may be strange for some people. How do you read something you don't know?
Right. Well, I would answer here that we have still a lot of hidden secrets that have not been
Not
discovered
yet
so
discovered,
far.
yeah.
Right.
Yes.
So,
And we also see some part of world on TV that we have never seen in our own life. So, and we read about it as well, but never seen about it. We only see on TV. So we can also say we know that there's some meaning, but we don't know about it. So we read it.
right, exactly. I think
And
I agree.
I think, Ahmed, if we studied I want to say the following chapter to this surah,
Yep.
okay, and the previous chapter, then we can get or grasp what is meant by thought. We may elicit some meanings, okay,
And
because
that
the
is-
Quran is a continuous and not separated chapters.
I see. I see.
Okay.
Well, if this is your explanation, I think we can discuss this point after having a break. If we're going to have a break, stay tuned.
Reviewing the second rule of al-mim as-sakina. That is the letter mim. So if the first mim is non-vowel or sakina, followed by a voweled mim. So I will merge the first in the letter and I will pronounce them as one. وَآمَنَهُمْ مِنْ. And we spoke abundantly on the virtues of seeking refuge with Allah from the outcast Satan. Especially for the first reciter, he's got to recite it out loud.
والسماء ذات البروج
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
فإذا جاءت الصاخة.
وإذا النفوس زوجت
Make sure it's Dhamma. وإذا النفوس. Thank you for joining us.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to the second part here of our program, Learn Arabic. In the previous part, actually, we were handling the notion of whether such letter in Arabic, sa, does have meaning or not. I think that this is the point of Osama. He will tell us more about that. Please, Osama, go ahead.
Yeah, we have sa, for example, disconnected from the second letters.
Yep.
Or the following
Right.
words.
But
okay.
also you raise a very interesting point that is in Quran we have just one surah which is Sa.
Yeah, it's
and
called Sa.
it's started with the letter Sa.
Yes.
And so far, if you just ask me a personal opinion about do you have any meaning for that, I would tell you I have no idea. But I'm very convinced that it does have meaning. I don't know what is it.
But I think
Yep.
theoretically we cannot prove it. We have a lot of words in Alif, Lam, Mim, Swad in the Quran which we don't know meaning.
Yep.
But some people say they have meaning, we don't know. But theoretically we cannot prove it has meaning.
Not
Yep.
Muhammad, we have to bear in mind that the Quran is a continuous sequence. Okay, not in discontinuous sequence.
I mean,
okay?
it is continuous
It's connected
sequence.
to each other. So
Yes.
we can guess. We can make
Yes.
some guess.
I agree with you,
this
but
work. Okay.
I agree with you, but we cannot prove the definite meaning. We cannot show the exact meaning. Even if you read continuously, we cannot prove a point theoretically that it has the exact meaning. We cannot do this because we don't know. We can say, okay, it might mean this, it might mean this, but we cannot show 100% that it means, like, for example,
that's true, yeah, that's true.
You cannot tell us it's true meaning.
Right, yep, Khalid.
I think that Sa'd and all these letters they're talking about, I think they have meaning, but no mankind don't know this meaning.
But we don't know about the meanings.
Know the meaning.
Yep, well, here's the question that everyone is asking. We don't know what is the meaning of this letter.
Meaning,
no, but Ahmed, some interpreters of the Evergreen Quran do explain that those disconnected letters may have meanings, and they give us. This may appeal to us in this time.
It may have meaning. There's a possibility.
Possibility.
They may not have meaning.
But it appeals to me. He may give us an explanation that appeals to me. So
it
what
appeals
about
to everyone.
you?
We all know it might have meaning, but we cannot theoretically prove it. Can you prove it? No, we cannot.
He's not saying that this is the only meant meaning or the explanation of this. This is the exact explanation. Does not say that, Muhammad. Does not say that. He just may say, and this may appeal to us in our time. Maybe after 100 years ago, after 100 years, there is coming. This may not appeal to this generation. It may appeal to us, but not may appeal to other generations. Okay.
But it does not prove the point that it has meaning or not. You're just telling them after 100 days it may not appeal, it may appeal, today is appealing or not appealing. But the point is, the question is today, does it have meaning, yes or no? Can we prove it theoretically, yes or no?
Yep.
Yeah, I think Ahmed, it is thrive. Yeah, that is, it has many meanings. Okay, the letter has many meanings. Okay, and as we know that Allah has made us or made us make it easy to us to discover some of the meaning that appeals to us, okay, and it is enough for us in this time. It is enough for us, and we may say this is our provision.
Yep.
Okay. Let's say it has
our subsistence.
Okay, let's say it has some meanings. All right, it has meaning. Why till now? Any single ulama has given us meaning. If it has some meanings, like in all the other words, we do have some conflicts. Ulama say it means this, it means this. But if Su'ad, Alif, Lam, Mim, we have not confirmed or seen any meaning of it.
You know, Muhammad. Even this is there is a disagreement about the letters. Even the verses that we have agreement about their explanation, also there are still meanings that we cannot reach it until now. There are meanings.
Excuse me, Brother Osama.
Okay. Yeah.
In fact, there is the opinions of ulama, of the scholars, Islamic scholars.
Yes.
Yep.
What that at the time the Quran came at the Muhammad, peace be upon him, sallallahu the time of poetry.
Yep.
The Arab was starting their poetry from these words, like Sin and Swad and Alif Lam Mim.
Yeah.
And they have the main meanings.
Yep.
But at the time, the starting of Quran, the Holy Quran came at the Muhammad, peace be upon him. They start in this sequence. Why? Because the Arab they called themselves that we have a good language and a big language, and there is no person came here and tell that we have a good language.
Well, I just want to have a kind of I would like just to tell you my personal opinion about that, and after that I will let you just everyone expressing his own views. I would say that if in any verse or any surah in Quran starting with such a letter, for example, Alif, Lam, Mim, or Sad,
we have Noon, we have.
I understand that there is a reason and there is a secret behind such letter, but I don't know what is it.
Yes.
And if somebody actually asked me whether does it have a meaning or not, I would tell, well, I don't know, because I really don't know what is the meaning of this. But some pragmatic scholars today, probably those who are not having any knowledge about Islamic culture, because they just believe in materials and materialistic aspects, so they would say this is just letter.
It's just letters, yeah.
Right. But
we, as Muslims, we do not believe they are letters. We do believe they have meaning. We do have this certain meaning. But theoretically, the point is that we cannot prove it. We have opinions that it might mean this, it might mean this. You know, it could be X, it could be Y, it could be Z. But theoretically, till now, we haven't been able to prove it. But we do believe it has certain meanings.
Yep.
For the 1400 hours until now, there is no any person and there is no any scholar, Islamic scholar, that they cannot ask that I know the meaning.
Yep.
I think that this drives us to discover, to try to do more search in such things. And you know that we have even about these letters, we have disconnected letters like noon or like sad.
Right.
We have also we pronounce disconnected letters which are connected. Alif, lam, mim. They are in writing. They're connected.
And we also have ha, mim, or
Ain, Nun, Qaf. They are connected to each other. So we have to do more research about this.
In a way, it also creates a hunger and greatness to find out what the meaning of this letter. But sadly, these are not things that we are really looking for these letters. We're not really searching. We are more concentrating on other part of translation, which is by these days. But every time you see a new translation of Quran, we don't see any hunger of ulama or hunger of Muslims to translate this meaning. We don't see this point. We don't have this point. It's probably
the shape, the word and the writing is a shape. This is the shape. This is the form. This is the body, and the meaning is the spirit of the word. Okay. So our speaking, even the shape, the disconnected letters in the Evergrace Quran written is different.
Yes, we do. We do agree. I agree. We all Muslims agree. It has meaning, but the point is, can we prove it? Are we looking for it? Are we trying to find it? That's the point. Are we trying to find it? Are we trying to look at it? Are we trying to tell the whole world what does it mean? All Muslims, we don't even know this. What does it mean? So how can we tell others?
What I want to add also, that we don't have a unified or one exact meaning for or one exact explanation. There are various explanations.
Why don't we try to just come up the best solution, the best?
No. I think, as we know, in every verse in the Evergrace have many secrets, and it just comes up to us as Allah has
gifted us.
Distinct was, yeah.
Right. I think that also Khalid does have a comment here. Please go ahead, Khalid.
Yeah, I think that the meaning, they have a meaning, but I think it's hidden from us.
Right.
And if it didn't have a meaning, it wouldn't be written in the Quran.
Oh, I think that is very interesting. Right. I think I agree with that.
I think no one denied this. It doesn't have meaning. No one denied that it has meaning. We all know it has meaning. The point is, can we prove it? The point is, how can we prove it? The point is, when are we going to prove it? The point is, how are we going to do it? Are we doing it or not? Do we have the hunger to do it or not?
Well, I think that this is quite interesting to find a way to understand more about the meanings of the letters in the Holy Quran. I said before, I stick to my guns and keep on saying that is a lot of letters. Well, actually not a lot of letters, but all the letters in Quran actually do have a lot of meanings, but it depends on the context. It depends on your knowledge about the verses, the context, the historical context. But let me now move on to Saw here, which we have. If you just write Saw here on the whiteboard, what you're going to have is just a letter, which it probably doesn't have a meaning.
Yeah.
I would recommend, yep.
I have an example. Like that in English we use A.
Yep.
A we use
which
for
is A,
one.
Right.
We use for one.
Yep.
It is a letter of English alphabet.
Yep, that's right.
Like that, Sad is a letter of Arabic alphabet.
Yep.
And Noon is a one letter of Arabic alphabet.
Yes.
Perhaps there is a meanings. One letter have a big meanings.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's right.
But we don't know.
Exactly. I agree with you about that. But, well, my point here is that I would like just not to make comparison between just write letters on papers or on the whiteboard and the letters that are mentioned in Quran. I know that both of them are the same letters. But let me just ask you here a question. If I just write such a letter, for example, here, can you see that?
Yes.
What does that mean?
It's just a letter.
It's a letter.
We can't say anything.
But if you put such letter in Quran, what does that mean?
Yeah.
It has certain meaning. That's why it's there. But we cannot, as you say, we cannot prove theoretically what this means.
Right.
So the main point is today that we can't theoretically prove it, but we think and we know, we believe. It's our belief that it has meaning.
Yep.
But we can't find out, or probably we don't have the hunger to find out.
But also we have the opinion of the scholars. We have the opinion of the scholars. We can can make numerous reasons.
Why don't we do it then?
Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Why don't we do it then? Why don't we do it
for that? Okay.
But I think that Muhammad, here Usama is suggesting something, which is probably we do have another task of the scholars.
Yes,
I agree with him. I agree with him. But
Right.
what I'm saying, we don't have the hunger to do it. We don't want to do it.
This is not the full meaning. This is part of that is I want to say.
Even-
it is
even-
part of the meaning that is available to us today.
If
This is the available to us today.
if we even can prove a little part of it, it will be valuable. It just give us some sort of understanding to what it does means.
Hamad, I say we have the context, okay?
Yep.
We have the previous chapter, okay?
Yeah.
We have the second or the next chapter,
Yeah.
okay? So we make a connection between that and that, okay? And may a scholar come up with a meaning for such a letter. Come up with a meaning. So what I want to say that even so, this is not the exact way, but this is a solution to us that may appeal to us, that solves problems to us, okay? That we find a solution, that we find a meaning in this letter, for this
I
letter.
mean, it's totally opinion. Maybe this solution may not work out. So what are we going to do then?
After the Prophet Muhammad
Well, I'm sorry, Osama, for that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for that. Well, time is running out, but I think that I promise you to continue discussion for this point, the relationship between writing and pronouncing Sa when it comes in the normal writings and when it comes in Holy Quran. Please, my dear viewers, if you just have any comment about that, send me email to brave, brave107@yahoo.com. Thank you for joining us. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
A is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah. Ta is for taqwa, bewaring of Allah. And Tha is for thawab, a reward. Ja is for Jannah, the garden of paradise. Ha is for Hajj, the blessed pilgrimage. Kha is for Khatam, the seal of the prophethood given to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.